Is the DJI drone ban finally here? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to clarify on this video. I see a ton of misconception online. So my goal is to make it very clear to you exactly where things stand when it comes to DJI drones potentially being banned. So we're going to talk about the bill itself that would ban them and where it is in the legal process. We're going to talk about if it passed, what that would mean and what it would and wouldn't ban. And then 3, and most importantly, how it would impact you and your photo business. So jumping straight into the bill itself. There's a larger bill in the House right now called the 2025 National Defense Authorization Act. So picture this big bill, and then there's a small part of that bill, or one element of that bill, called the Countering CCP Drones Act. And that part is what everybody's talking about when it comes to the DJI ban, that smaller part of the larger bill. And that part was introduced because of DJI's Chinese origins and people being concerned about whether that technology is being used by the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP, to spy on Americans, US interests, whatever. And so that's why the bill is being proposed, and that's currently what's going on. So here's the status of that bill. It is passed. The National Defense Authorization Act that includes that smaller thing has passed the United States House of Representatives, which is stage 1 in a 3-stage process roughly to becoming law. So it passes in the House, and then it moves to the Senate. And if the Senate passes it, then it goes to the president, and the president can either pass or veto it. If he passes it, it becomes law. Law can be challenged, but it becomes law in the meantime. Here's where things currently stand. So the bill has passed the House. The Senate's version of the 2025 National Defense Authorization Act, it doesn't include that smaller part, the DJI Drone Ban, the Countering CCP Drones Act. It's not in there. And so they're still working on that bill in the Senate. If it passes the Senate, it doesn't go to the president because it's different than the one the House passed. What happens is the House and the Senate have to come together in conference and work out the differences. And then when everybody agrees and all the politics is done, it goes back to the House, it gets signed, it goes to the Senate, and then it goes to the president, who can either pass or veto it. And so right now, it has only passed the House. The Senate has a different version of the bill that does not include that, and it's obviously not been signed by the president. So there is currently no DJI drone ban. But there is a drone ban on the table, and as we went through, if it goes through all those processes and the president signs it, then it becomes law. But here's what it actually means if it becomes law. So right now it's not law, but if it becomes law, what does that mean? A lot of people are confused on this. Right now, the current bill does not do anything with past or currently being sold drones. So DJI would still be able to sell the drones they're currently selling. Any drones you purchased or currently own, you would still be good to fly. Nobody's, in this case, grounding the drones. It's just a question of whether DJI will be able to create future products. And if this bill passes in its current form, they would not be able to create, or at least in the US, sell or import DJI drones. And so they would probably continue, obviously, to create them for other parts of the world. It would just be a US problem. And so any future drone or DJI products would be blocked. And the way they block that is via the FCC, which regulates electronic communication, among other things. So they basically don't get a new number, so they can't create a new product. And they're put on a list that prevents them being able to create, import, or sell new products. So in the US at least. So that's where it currently is. So again, if you already have a drone, you're 100% good. It just prevents future drones. Now, here's probably what's going to happen. Some form of licensing of DJI technology, or DJI selling the new technology to an American company or a company that's not on that list, whether it's American or not, is probably going to happen. So my guess, and I could be wrong, but DJI, obviously a massive company, will continue to innovate, is the leader in drones, makes the best drones in my opinion. They'll just license the tech to somebody else, whatever. Number 3, how does this impact you? And obviously the most important part, everybody gets fearful about this and they read the headlines and they spend time reading forums because they're not worried about, for most of us, they're not like, what about innovation? They're like, no, what does it mean for me? Like, what's the problem or what's going to happen for me? And it creates fear in you. And so here's what I would say. The drones you have will continue to work. So that's good, right? Sure, it would suck if they grounded the drones and you had to buy a new $1,000 drone, but that's not even on the table. But even if that was, I think the biggest thing that photographers are doing wrong here, which is honestly just a problem with our industry as a whole, is they spend so much time worrying and using mental energy on stuff that either doesn't help their business or stuff they can't control. And worrying about a drone ban is exactly that. The time that people put into worrying about this, if you just spent that same time playing offense and working to grow your business, you wouldn't be worried about this. And when I say this, I'm not saying like, wow, I'm so good. Like I've got myself thinking exactly the right way. For example, I've not spent a single second worried about the DJI drone ban. In fact, the only reason I made this video is because I know people are gonna watch it and I can get them this part of the message, which is you always have to focus on what you can control in your business and stop looking at the downside. Like I said, worst case, you lose a $1,000 drone. Not even gonna happen, but worst case you do. The thing that's really unfortunate though is because of that worst case, people spend so much time looking back instead of looking forward. That time could be so much better used finding new clients for your business, right? Putting new systems in place, working to actually grow your business. And so that is what I encourage you to do. And this is where the real impact to you could be. If you spend time worrying about something you can't control that won't impact you in any meaningful way, you just actually impacted your business because you changed your focus to the wrong direction. So keep looking forward. Something will work itself out. Work on the things you actually can control to grow your business, because that's all you can do. Speaking of what you can do to grow your business, I got a bunch of goodies in my bio below. Whether you want to talk with my team about your business specifically and how you could grow it, watch a workshop that I put together that covers real estate photography and how I've made millions of dollars as a real estate photographer over the last 10 years. This is stuff that can actually move your business forward and is in your control that you can impact today. So go learn, go improve yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.